Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to It's Something to Do with Pete and Will. We promise it's something to do.
Welcome back to It's Something to Do. I'm Peter Osterhaus.
Oh. I'm Will Marfuji. I thought you were going to do just Pete and Will. Just Pete and Will. Why so formal?
Well, I don't know.
We'll debate about this until the end of time. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video. Subscribe to this channel if you've got nothing else to do.
It's something to do.
I feel like it should be like that should have a theme, like it's something to do, like one of those old school radio jingles.
I don't think anybody knowing realizes that we actually do have a producer and a graphic artist and a musician that has put music beds on this stuff. And so all we have to do is call one of those three people, who are the only three that watch, and have them do that.
That's right. People are getting paid for this shit. Just not me and Pete.
Whether you know it or not, this actually has some sort of production value. And that's why I'm in a different spot. The producer told me to move to a place that doesn't look like the two of us are interviewing each other for a job. So
because I still am not totally on board with this. I might fire you.
Exactly.
I might recast Pete by episode 10. We'll see.
David Spade available?
Yeah.
He can sell stuff.
You move around too much.
Right, exactly. That's what I felt about myself. I'm just constantly looking at my notes and writing things down and stuff like that. And I realized my producer does, or our producer, excuse me, does all this stuff, and he was like, yeah, nobody cares. Just have content.
Which is what I told you. When you're like, you don't think it's funny? And I was like, no. What's funny about that? You're just moving around.
Yeah. That's the way you are.
Yeah.
So he said, go to where do you have a comfortable spot? And that doesn't look like an interview. I said, well, my office. He's like, go into your office. So here we are.
It's made all the difference. Can I tell you? It's just made all the difference.
My daughter painted that.
She painted that cat?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. It's a paint by numbers. I mean, that's not crazy.
Well, all right.
But she stayed within the lines.
Honestly, you told me that she did that, and I just assumed she freehand painted that, and I was blown away. I was like, you should be exploiting your child for money. Forget this stupid thing.
You have no idea what's going on.
Go get your kid into the MoMA or something.
Yeah. What's going on with you?
Oh man. Well, since we spoke last week, I told you in weeks prior that we'd been potty training, sort of this slow, bring her into the bathroom with us, have a little potty in there, and she can go if she wants and whatever. Saturday, we were like, we're making the leap. We're going for we gotta just dive into this. So I have spent the last, today was 6 days, 5 or 6 days, just staring at my daughter, waiting for pee or poo to come out of her so that I can be like, get to the toilet. That's how my week has gone. We've done the full on. I haven't looked at a thing. I haven't read anything. I don't know what's going on in the world because all I've done, I don't even feel comfortable putting my phone, reading my phone when she's in my presence, because if I miss it, then I've got to clean up shit, which I've definitely had to do.
Yeah, it started raining the other day, and I'm for some reason, I think it's from my dad, a weather freak. I was like, who said it was in the rain?
We're talking about the weather 30 seconds into this thing.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying it's the same thing. I'm not paying attention to anything.
Oh.
I wasn't expecting it to rain. And then it's like a monsoon. And I used to care about the rain. Now I don't watch anything. I have no idea what's going on. So similarly with potty training, that's rating.
No. Bridge these things. Bridge these things for me.
Where's the transition here?
Bridge these things so that I understand what you're talking about. Because right now I don't understand how watching my kid potty train is remotely at all like what you're describing sounds more like a lyric from an Alanis Morissette song, not me potty training my kid.
No, you mentioned how you're not watching anything. You can't do anything. You're just watching her.
Yeah.
And the same thing, uniquely, I'm not watching anything. I have no idea what's going on. And so when something as, minuscule as it starts to rain, you're like, why didn't I know that was going to happen? So I'm up there cleaning out the gutters and all that stuff. It's the same thing.
It's not that it will be the same thing as if you were waiting in the sky for it to rain. And when it did start raining, go, no, rain in this.
Yeah.
That would be the same thing.
You're cleaning out gutters.
And then if instead of rain,
gutters,
it was poop.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're cleaning out gutters.
Child's poop.
I'm cleaning out gutters.
But the good news is, I think as of this morning, success. So now we're sort of in the phase 2 of whatever this is gonna be. But I asked my mom about potty train. Like, did you go through all this? Because now when you look online, there's all this psychology and do this, don't do this. Doing this is gonna scar the kid for life. Doing this is like the sweet spot. And I've realized that I don't know how to, dissuade someone from doing something without being angry about it. Which you don't want to be angry at a little kid who's trying to learn how to poop and pee in the potty, because that's going to mess them up a little bit. But I can't say, don't do that without seeming stern and see the arch of my eyebrows.
Yeah.
Don't do that. And you're not supposed to do that.
Well,
but you can't say it's okay. You can't say it's okay, because then they're like, oh, it's totally okay that I pooped in my pants. So I have realized that I have this gear and I have this gear and I don't have anything in between.
As my dad would say, if the only tool you have is a hammer, everything's a nail.
Yes.
So you have to have a lot of tools.
I have elation and vengeful scorn. And those are the only 2 things that I've got. Nothing in the middle.
And also we've been thrown into a situation where this wouldn't normally be a situation we'd be in. Because a lot of Brooks potty training was done at Disney daycare.
That's true.
She was at daycare all day, and they had 5 teachers and care workers that walked them through it and stuff like that. And we're working. So when all of that changes, we didn't go to school for that. We're not qualified to be daycare workers in any way, shape, or form. And now we are.
Yeah, I might be now. Having looked at all the things, read all the stuff, and so it's interesting. I don't know. So I guess where I was going with that was when I was talking to my mom about it, and she was like, I don't know. It just happened. You just were potty trained. Maybe it's a fault in her memory. Maybe she did go through a lot of this stuff. Or B, we didn't think nearly that hard about this stuff then. And you were kind of like, well, I guess I'm just going to clean up pee and poo for a long time. And that's just, or, he's going to wear diapers until he's 3.5 or whatever. So,
I think that's
it's
more
interesting.
The case. It's just because it happens naturally. And then the more cognizant they become, they start to see how everybody else is taking care of that kind of business.
Potty business. They learn through osmosis. Yeah. Or just learn, as it's called. Just learn. Yeah. I don't know. And I think going to my dog, when we
and I have a joke I won't say.
When we, no, say it. No. When our kid turned 2, when we went to the doctor, and he was like, I warn against doing the full intensive 3-day, when the kid starts to pee, you run them into the potty, because we meet 12-year-olds, or we have 12-year-old patients who still have trouble going to, they're constipated because sort of psychologically they are a little bit lightly scarred from that experience. I would dissuade you from doing that. So we sort of had to mesh the two schools of thought together to get our result. But I would have never even considered that. So even just hearing him say that made me think, oh my God, this thing that I was not thinking about at all, now all of a sudden I've got to think about, because I don't want to further scar my child, because growing up with me is going to already do it. I don't want it to happen around pottying.
We've already admitted how hard it is not to drop F-bombs around our children.
Oh, I mean, I'm definitely doing it. But I've also realized another thing I've realized about my kid, and then we could talk about something else, is that I don't want to be the parent that yells all the time, but I'm finding it very effective. It's like
it's very interesting you say that,
because she's like, she gets into a zone where she's doing something. And I'm like, Ava, can you come with me? Ava, can you come with me? And it's not breaking through whatever she's focused on. And then finally I gotta get a little loud and not yell angry, just like be louder.
Yeah.
And she snaps to her. I'm like, don't make me count to 3. I'll count to 3. And then I'm going to come and then I'm going to come and get you.
Yeah.
What? And she goes, enough. And then she'll do whatever I need her to do. Cause I've stopped. If you've been a long time listener, actually, I don't know if this episode is ever going to make it, but you'll know that I used to have to do a Big Bird voice to get her to do anything.
Oh,
I'm not going to do it.
Who cares? But the point is that I had mentioned that earlier, that at the very beginning of this, it was exactly that. I can have a very big, loud voice, and we can talk about this at this volume, or I can just say, hey, you got to clean up after yourself.
Yeah.
Which one do you want?
Yeah.
I like that one. I was like,
well, great.
Then do it. What are we talking about? And that was with Bridget.
Oh man. So that's been my whole world. That's been the stuff sort of kicking around in my brain all week. What's been going on with you?
Let's see. Well, I bled.
Of course you did.
Yeah. So we have to have our bleeding segment. I'd like to not have this segment, by the way.
Yeah, so would I.
I mean, for goodness sakes.
What should we call it?
The bleeding segment.
I'll have to come up with a snappier name than that. The bleeding segment.
He bled.
It's Pete's blood. There you go.
Yeah, right on.
Take it away.
Producer. Yeah, no, I had to cut down a tree. And you know how easy that is.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since I don't have a chainsaw. So I'm just out there with a handsaw and a ladder
cutting
this tree down. And it's a plum tree. And I don't know if you know this about them, but they kind of have spikes like a rose bush.
Gotcha. Thorns.
And yeah, but it's not a thorn. It's just like wherever something had fallen off. I mean, it's similar to a thorn.
Gotcha.
And so as I'm taking the branches down, they're just puncturing me all over the place. And my girls were like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "But you're bleeding all over your arms." I'm like, don't worry about it. Dad bleeds.
Yeah. Oh my God. I had to cut down
firewood.
So, is that why you cut it down?
No, it was dead.
Oh. I had to trim back part of our lemon tree, and it's the same thing. They've got some sharp ass pieces to it.
Yeah, lemon trees are worse than a plum tree.
And so I was like, yeah, I mean, you're never going to see on this camera, but I'm still like marked up from it. And this is like 2 weeks ago. And again, same thing. I don't have a chainsaw. I'm out there sawing like a branch this big with a handsaw, with like a pruning saw.
It's actually a really good workout.
It is. Why don't we own chainsaws? Is that a thing that like middle-aged men are supposed to own?
No.
Not in the city. If we were in the country, you'd have a chainsaw.
And the most ridiculous chainsaws are the ones that you plug in. I'm not kidding. They sell plug-in chainsaws.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What kind of asshole buys a plug-in chainsaw?
That's a surefire recipe for electrocution.
And then he moves over and it pulls out, or you cut the cord.
The cord? Yeah. I got that beat. When we first moved into our house 5 years ago, our lawn started to get really long. And I was like, no, I always mowed all of our grass growing up. I'll mow our grass. It's 20 feet. How hard could it possibly be? So we went to Home Depot to buy a mower,
Right.
And I'm looking at like even, a battery operated, when they have to charge the batteries and my wife is like, well, you don't need that.
Right.
The one with the rotating blades, that's like $80.
Oh no, you bought that?
Yeah. Like I live in 1920. I let her do it. I was like, yeah, okay, I guess you're right. And it didn't cut any of my grass straight. It looked like I could have gotten a more even cut if I had let a donkey chew it down.
That's for a field.
It's not even for a field because it can't cut grass over a certain height.
You're not.
I don't know what it's for.
You're not.
I don't
Doing
even.
you're not doing a crisscross pattern with that thing.
No, you're not doing anything. You're just like pushing it and shoving it back and forth so that your grass can go from this long to this long. But if it starts at this long, it's not getting cut. It's just getting pushed over.
How much does it cost to get somebody to do this? $25 a week? Okay.
Done. But it was like, but we didn't get to that point for like a year.
Oh no.
So like Thursdays, I'd come home from work and like try to mow the grass, or Saturday afternoon after like working out, I'd try to mow the grass. And we do have like a weed whacker that plugs into, runs with an electrical cord, not,
Right. You're gonna
gas.
cut that cord.
I haven't because it can't cut through anything. Not even the weeds. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, because it's not gas powered. It's not
No,
the one that
exactly.
wakes
But I
everybody
also
up in the morning.
don't want to fuck around with, a 2-stroke engine. Like I don't want to have to deal with oil and gas and mixing it together. And so, yeah, now I pay a guy.
And it took a year for this? Did
Yeah,
you
I was
have to
really-
sit down?
I was really committed. And then I think there was something where
Oh, this was you, not her.
oh yeah, no, this was me.
Okay.
I had to travel. So maybe it was going to the Olympics where I was going to be gone for 3 weeks, where it
Hoi
was,
polloi. Okay, how about you stop crowbarring that into every conversation?
oh, I didn't fucking compete. So I think I was going to be gone for 3 weeks, where we decided, let's just get the guy that does the neighborhood and we'll do that. But yeah, all of our stuff was plugged in with an electrical cord. So now that I've had to cut down actual tree limbs, it's like, shit, man.
I need some power tools.
Is exhausting. I need some power tools. I am
You know,
too old and too tired for
You know what?
this.
Because I do woodwork, I've got like 17 saws. The stuff that I sell, I'll never pay for all the equipment that I've purchased.
Mm-hmm.
But the Makita,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a sawzall.
Yes.
That thing cuts through everything.
That's what I thought about.
And
I
it's
honestly thought
easy.
about getting one of those.
Yeah.
Is it just occurring to you now why you didn't use the Makita to cut those tree branches down?
Well, no, they weren't thick enough, and I wanted my daughters to see me actually cut them down.
Sweat.
Yeah.
But
And
you still would be cutting
do
it
the
with the
work.
power saw, but
Well, and also, in all honesty, when it got down to the trunk, I had my gardener cut it down with a
yeah.
chainsaw.
Yes. Yeah. No, there's no way you want to go
I could have gotten
across.
jazzy with it, but I decided
How
paying
tall
them.
was this tree?
20 feet.
Okay, so it's 20 feet tall. It's going to be pretty heavy.
Yeah, but you start at the top, and then you just kind of slowly move your way down.
Getting stuff
Yeah,
down.
so I got it down to about 4 feet,
Mhm.
and then I was like, all right, you do the trunk.
Yeah. That's smart.
And then I burned the wood, and it's 90 degrees.
Great week. It's a great week to get a fire going.
Well, that's the problem, though. It's 50 degrees at night and 90 degrees during the day. So,
Yeah.
Our house is freezing cold until like noon, and then it's burning hot until the sun goes down.
Until like 8:30 at night.
Yeah.
Yes. Los Angeles, man. Living in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's incredible. Let's see what I wrote down here.
Yeah, let's check the notes.
Let's see. Bridget's tired of me saying, let's go to Pound Town. And I'm not going to lead with that.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Oh, I keep catching rats. That's a real nightmare. Bridget walked out into the garage, and there was a rat in a trap just in front of the washing machine, because our washing machines are in the garage. So I had to go deal with that. That was fun. I always make the girls come out and watch.
Watch you kill a rat.
No, I didn't kill it. It was already dead.
Oh,
But I want them to see, like, this is what's going on. Our dog is important. This needs to die.
mm-hmm.
It carries the plague.
You think Corona's bad?
Yeah. Exactly.
Layer on a black plague on top of that.
Do not lick anything that looks like that.
No. Oh my God. That's funny. I lived in a house, well, yeah, probably about 10 years ago now in Silver Lake, a duplex that we had a rat problem. And I didn't realize we had a rat problem until one crawled across my hand at night.
Wow.
And I woke up because I was like,
in the house?
yeah, oh yeah, in the house. I felt this thing go across my hand. I was like, was that a dream? What just happened there? I popped my eyes open. I was in the master bedroom. So I had a bathroom, or the primary bedroom as they're being called now. And I look into the doorway of the bathroom and I see a little figure that runs into the bathroom. I run in, pop the light on. I have no idea where it's gone. It's gone underneath the cabinet and worked its way. I go, that was for sure a rat. On another night,
Yeah, but it touched your body?
it touched my hand.
That would be absolutely crazy.
Yes, it was like
I mean, I
immediate.
have allergies as bad as it is right now. Can you imagine if a rat touched me?
I immediately,
I'd have to turn
well,
off
not
the
immediately.
video.
The next morning, yes, phone call to the landlord, etc. You got to get over here because this is a problem. Another time, I had kept my food, since I lived with two other guys. We all kept our food separately. I've had kept my food in a cabinet above the stove, which was basically like a peninsula. And one night I heard this scratching, and I opened up my cabinet where my food was, and from behind my bread, pops a rat. And then it like goes back down, and who knows where it went. Who knows how they got in and out of anything? I guess that's what they do.
$10,000 deratting this house. I'm not kidding you. $10,000. Making sure that every nook and cranny, because this house was built in like 1950, and there's a lot of nooks and crannies. I spent $10,000, and they find a way.
Yes,
They say they can get in through something the size of a quarter.
Yeah,
so
that's what I've read.
Traps up all the time, and it's deratted. This house.
Brutal. I loved living in this house. We had a great time. My friends and I, and my group of friends somebody had lived in it for over 10 years. But by the end there, it was Swiss cheese. One day I was getting ready to go to work, and a bee was in my room flying around. I was like, where the fuck did this bee come from? And then another bee, and then another bee. Right. And I opened the closet door, and down near the molding, there's a hole in the carpet where bees are coming out of. And when I go outside to try to figure out where they're coming in from, they're coming in from outside. There's like just a hole above a glass door on the second story. They were on the first story. They were going in and up and in and out of my closet. Like a swarm of them. And to fix it,
they had to have a hive or something in there, right?
No, I think they were trying to find a place to build one because they had swarm there. I mean, I hit them with raid, which you're probably not supposed to do. Well, I know that you're not supposed to do, but at the time I was like, I can't come home to a freaking hornet's nest inside my room.
When they're in your clothes, you can
yeah, and then it's okay. And my landlord at the time, to fix it, he was like, he's a fantastic guy. We still occasionally keep in touch, but it was the most like jerry-rigged fixes. He had this like expandable foam that he sprayed in the hole. So we came home, and it was what looked like a ball sack just above our outside glass door. That was just, you walk outside and turn around and be like, oh, it's just this light pink ball sack of expanded foam that's kept keeping these bees out now.
I was waiting for when our ball sacks would come into the conversation.
You got that in your notes?
A ball sack?
It's not my ball sack. You can model it after mine.
He's like, hey, can I see something on you? You're like,
Just
you're
real
the worst
quick.
exterminator I have ever seen.
Just real quick. I just want to.
I want you to be familiar with it.
Yeah. This same house, we got Direct TV. And when the Direct TV guy came, he's like, okay, I'm going to try to run the cable down here. I'm going to try to keep it neat. He's on the outside on our deck that would go into the living room. He's like, I'm going to put it through this wall. I don't know. It depends on what you have in that wall. It may be kind of a problem to fish the wire through, but it might not. I don't know. He just like drills straight through. There's nothing. It's like literally nothing. It's like outdoor wall, indoor wall, and nothing in between, to the point where like he like did it with some force. He nearly like knocked through the plaster.
You're like, is this your first day or?
And there was just absolutely nothing. So our house, I don't know. Is any of this interesting at all? I don't think so.
No,
it was on a cliff. So there was nothing underneath it, except there was nothing holding it up except for metal beams. Whatever.
What's
story.
interesting is the people, the guys next door, they tore down their house and building a new one. And all I'm thinking about is I'm knocking over my fence right now because they're banging it up against something. To totally change this.
The last 10 minutes of this is why I didn't want to do this at all.
Why? What are you talking about?
What are we even talking about here? What are we even talking about?
This is us talking about what's going on.
I went on a tangent about my old house,
Well, I didn't know how to tangent into this or transition.
Just do it. Just do it.
So I heard about, and this really pissed off Bridget, but there's a Flow app. I don't know if you've ever heard about this.
Mm-mm.
And it's literally an app, and I heard about it from other guys talking about it, that you download to your phone, and then when your wife is in her flow
on her period,
you can map it, and they're going to be less sensitive. They were less sensitive about it than I'm sure you and I will be, but it was essentially. It has all these questions. And so I told Bridget, I said, hey, I'm downloading this app. And she said, no, you're not. I said, yeah, but it's got a lot of questions. I need you to answer them because it's for you. And it's like, so how do you feel about sex and all this stuff? She's like, you got to stop. I said, when's your time of month? She's like, I'm serious. And it was like 15 different questions about her period. And at the end of it, I was like, oh, it's $34. Forget it.
What? $34? Why does anybody need this app? Is this app specifically for a husband, or is it for?
Well, so that you know that when you're getting yelled at or something like that's happening, and you have no idea why. You're like, okay, you're good. You're right.
First of all, it's fucking ridiculous. Shouldn't you just know, right? Like if that's how, if that's what happens when when your wife is on her period, then like you should just know, right? But you should just know.
Yes, of course.
You shouldn't even have to be like, gee, I wonder why the fuck I'm getting yelled at.
Yeah, listen, you and I were 16 years married tomorrow, and you guys are how many years? Tomorrow.
Tomorrow's 5. Yeah, tomorrow's 5.
We both have the same wedding anniversary.
Yeah, that's
planned? Right. Other than the Flow app.
Oh, sadly, not much, man. I mean, it's,
what are you gonna do?
Exactly. It's a real drag for us to do. Totally. We're doing the same thing. Because like, what can you do? She's pregnant, so she doesn't even feel comfortable going out and trying to have a nice dinner somewhere. So we're going to order some food, and
what's funny is I ordered like $100 worth of flowers on flowers.com or 1-800-flowers.com, which is not a sponsor, and they probably won't be after this.
Dude, after my tangent about my old apartment, nobody's going to sponsor this.
It was so hard to order flowers. It was ridiculous. So I went through the entire process, and at the end, you got to sign up for all this stuff, and you've already ordered it. Mm-hmm. So I'm just trying to go through PayPal to pay for it, and then I got to
go through this other and I said, you know what, fuck it. And I told her, I said, what do you want? And she's like, nothing. Well, let's go out, dinner. Because now we've had our 15th and our 16th here.
Yeah.
And so we're like, I don't know. We're lucky we're here, to be honest.
True. Yeah. True.
We're lucky it lasted the last year.
Honestly, yes.
We got touch and go.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong about that. That's honestly, and I don't think she won't hear it by tomorrow, but I got a couple of cards and online. All of it is so much harder in a pandemic, right? Like, to me, that's one thing that I like to do. I like to go to a store. I like to look through cards and go, oh, this one, I like this one. This one's representative. If I'm going to look at a piece of jewelry, I like to look at it so I know what I'm buying. Flowers, I like to go to the market and say, or, the flower shop and say, I like those, and those. Can we put those together into a nice thing? Yeah. Now that you're doing this all online, which is convenient to be able to do it online, but there's none of I'm ordering shit and I'm like, I don't know. I maybe I got regular cards. Maybe the cards are 2.5 feet large. I have no idea what I bought. But one of the cards,
a clown shows up and he's like, hey,
yeah, exactly.
You're like, wait.
It didn't seem weird that your greeting card cost $68.
Wait. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Happy anniversary. It's
get
not
the
me.
fuck out of here.
Yeah, you're scaring the kid.
It scared me. But one of the cards inside I wrote, I'm sorry. That sucks that this is the second year of this that we've had to do this now. Our 4th and 5th anniversary.
It's great.
It
sucks right at the first
inside. There was some other stuff before that, but that's funny. But yeah, but what? And then I wrote, honestly, I don't know if I would have made it through this with anybody other than you. If I were married to another person that were not you,
hang on.
There's a very good chance I either would have left or murder. Those would be the only two options.
We're recording this.
Yeah. Well, nobody's dead now.
So
and obviously, and if she ever does turn up, I'm clearly going to be suspect number one. It's always the husband.
So what did you start with? This sucks.
This sucks. It sucks. Happy anniversary.
This sucks.
It sucks. Oh, geez. I didn't write you suck, did I? Oh, shit.
Oh.
No. Yes. And then, what I did was I wrote, we have to make a promise to have lots of IOUs to going out to dinner, couples. We need to make up for the lost time.
Sure.
Once we can do that.
We're actually going down to the Hilton next week and going to the aquarium and stuff, I think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I guess.
Happy anniversary. You're leaving the kids at home? You're like, hey, kids, we're going to the aquarium. They're like, yay. You're like,
nobody will know.
No, not you two. You two are staying here.
Nobody
Mommy and I are going to the aquarium.
Yeah, this vaccine, man, it's a fortunate thing, but it's been kicking my butt.
Did you get your second shot?
No, the first one, I just, like yesterday, because I don't know how long it takes for this thing to kick in, but it's been really, really kicking my butt.
Have you really been feeling like shit since you got it? I feel like it's been what, a couple weeks since you got the first shot, right? You should be due for a second shot soon.
In a couple weeks, but yeah, I don't know. Like yesterday, it's just I'm just exhausted, so exhausted that I almost fall asleep like where I am.
Really?
Yeah, and then at night sometimes I can't sleep, so that doesn't help either. I there's so many side effects to this thing, and I don't know when they wear off or kick in or whatever. But yeah, Bridget's been fine. She's been tired, but I think that's pretty much the only thing. But I mean, it's been 3 weeks. I still have a bruise. Like, I'm still sore.
Really?
Yeah.
Did it give you narcolepsy? That's the side effect for you?
Well, yeah, exactly. Almost.
I'm up.
Like
I'm here.
Yesterday, I woke up, took an hour-and-a-half nap at 10, like just out, and I couldn't even describe it. That's not how I operate.
Yeah.
Then took a nap at like 7 to 9, and then up until midnight,
So it's just I don't know. That's just not the way my body operates.
I mean, I'm no doctor, but that 7 to 9 nap might have something to do with you not sleeping at night.
Well, no, I can't control it. Like I'm just out.
Why don't you just get into bed?
I did.
Okay.
But then when
Wow.
you wake up from something like that, it's a whole thing. Now, this is not to say don't get it, because that's not that big a deal.
No. I still get it.
But I have
Because it
more,
was
like my allergies seem like they're worse and things like that. I just
really,
I don't know.
well,
If you
the
haven't
last-
watched any of these other episodes,
yes,
allergies.
you got allergies. Also, your breakfast is beef jerky followed by 17 vitamins.
Oh, where's my jerky? Oh shit!
Maybe it's time to switch to real food
That
for
was-
breakfast.
That was one day, and that was for the.
Oh, all right. The
It's not funny if you don't sell it.
yeah, the if you can't commit to it.
Yeah, you
Plus,
gotta commit.
he doesn't look like a guy who eats beef jerky for breakfast. I call
Yeah.
bullshit. The
I have lost 7 pounds.
on the jerky diet.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
So called Jack Links or whatever.
since
it
getting the vaccine.
Yeah.
Should you talk to a doctor?
Yeah, the one that gave me the.
Should you talk to your doctor? Let me rephrase. Should you
Oh.
talk to your doctor
Sure.
about having lost 7 pounds and still feeling the effects like 3 weeks later?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
I'm not
okay.
going to do it.
All right.
I have other things I need them for.
Yeah. I saw a story today that the vaccine, the Pfizer vaccine is good. I think they're saying at least 6 months.
Yeah, that's one I got. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good. So that's
Well,
a plus
I should be 80% now.
because you got the
based on
first dose.
Stats. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Bridget will get the second one, and I want to wait for that to manifest itself. Because if we both get it at the same time or in close proximity and we both get sick or something like that, then
Yeah. If you're both having side effects, it's going to be miserable for
it'll be-
everyone.
that's a big problem.
Yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait.
You
I
can
don't
have
know.
fun.
It just feels like, and I'm seeing a lot of people that I know who are getting their second doses now.
Yeah.
You know, I guess you got to do whatever you got to do. People are, they know volunteers or they are volunteering.
Yeah.
I do know somebody who volunteered, got, I think, the Johnson & Johnson shot, or at least the first dose of another shot, went away and got it and got COVID
Right.
after getting the vaccine.
Well, because it takes like 3 weeks for it to
Yeah, you got to give it some time to
Take.
fully, yeah.
and so but
To reach your
within
full
that time,
immunity.
it's kind of but it's like for me it's just been messing with me.
Yeah. But man, that sucks to be one of those. If it's, the Johnson & Johnson one they say is what, 70% effective or something. And, you're in sort of this slim minority where, it's happening, people are getting the vaccine and they're still getting it, but that's just the way it works. That's the way. You're never going to be 100% totally inoculated from anything. But man, that sucks to be that one.
How did they do with it?
Last I saw this on Instagram. Not great. They were like 6 days in and totally run down.
Yeah, because I think I'm not sure what they're giving us, obviously, because it hasn't been approved by the FDA, and they give that to you in the paperwork that when you get it that it's not approved and this is an emergency release for something.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't realize that until after. And so I'm like, oh well, Jesus.
Really?
Yeah.
The FDA has not, but they approved it for emergency use, but it doesn't mean what that they haven't done independent testing on it. they're just sort of reviewing the research that the company gives them.
It was an emergency release of this because of it being a pandemic.
Well, no, yeah, obviously.
I don't know. It just says this is not FDA approved.
Are you sure you got the actual vaccine and you didn't go? Did you get this out of a van?
Yeah. I think I got aspirin.
Yikes!
I feel like shit.
Because you don't feel good. You basically just got you get an injection full of lead paint, and that's what you got.
Yeah, they're like, well,
It's like, I don't know why it cost me $3,000 to do this, but I paid it and I got a shot.
it's free. I mean, there's
I know.
There's no.
I feel like it's clearly the key to, life getting back to somewhat a sense of normalcy. But yeah, I just can't wait. And I feel like
your friend get it after you got that sucks.
Yes, it does. I have
What
to feel
happened?
like
So did they get it and then thought that immediately they're fine?
I still think it had been a couple weeks. I still think it had been a couple weeks. It was somebody that we used to work with. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if you worked with her really, but
I'm sure he did.
but a long time ago, she was doing like the digital stuff, but she went to Miami. She thinks she got a strain, the UK strain, and that and it laid her up for like a week at last check, which is just such a bummer.
Just like this podcast. Jesus Christ.
I know.
Nobody's listening to this thing.
No.
I even tried the
Don't have
Flow
to
app.
tell me.
You didn't even give me anything on the Flow app or my Pound Town.
What am I gonna say to Pound Town? What am I gonna say to that?
We need
What were you looking for? Did you have a joke? Did you have a thing? Did you have a bit you wanted to do?
That's the joke.
So Pound Town.
Yeah. So she doesn't like going to Pound Town? No.
Did you try drawing her a map? Did she have a bad experience there? Did she get mugged the last time she went to Pound Town?
How hard is it to get Pound Town info in there?
What's its GPS coordinates on Apple Maps?
Can you imagine?
Does it have a Yelp review?
Hey, sweetheart, I love you so much. Happy anniversary. You want to go to Pound Town? Is that where they have the seafood place? No. It's Pound Town.
It's Pound Town.
Oh, God.
And then what was the other thing on your notes that you were hoping? Oh, the Flow app. What do I have for the Flow app?
How stupid is that?
I mean, I don't know. It's not great on guys when it does not great look for guys when it's like,
yeah, the guy shouldn't have it.
You need an app. And they know, like the women know, they don't need a fucking app. I know that there's apps for like tracking fertility and stuff like that.
Cut out my side of the screen every time I have to blow my nose.
But for something for like the Flow, it's like, guys, fellas, you need an app because your wife's getting on your case. It's like, fuck you, bro. Are you kidding me? Be more in tune with your wife.
That's the most asshole-ish thing to do.
It really is. You're getting yelled at, wonder why. I also think that,
but it's funny.
Probably 6 times out of 10 times, 2/3 of the time, you're probably doing something deserving of getting yelled at.
Yeah,
not you specifically,
you're
but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Guys, you're doing something stupid. And so, her yelling at you is not out of the blue. Well, maybe it is. Maybe in some cases it is, but.
Well, the reason for doing it was because it was hilarious to me. And I went into the bathroom and she's washing her, she's brushing her teeth.
And she started asking her questions about.
And I said, I'm downloading this Flow app. And just her response was, it's worth the whole thing. She was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I need you to answer these questions. And there's like 20 questions that get pretty personal. So I'm like, hang on here. So, do you like sex? Okay.
She's like, not when you refer to it as Pound Town, I don't.
Yeah. So I'll put that.
Is that one of the options?
I'll put that as a maybe.
Rate your experience.
But it was her
with
back
me.
to me saying, "Stop it!
Yeah.
No, hon, we can't get the app unless you."
I'm never.
I
Otherwise,
gotta
how am
fill
I
the
going to
whole thing
know?
out.
How am I going to know?
If I go to the emergency room, I gotta fill all this stuff out. I gotta know. What time do you go to sleep? What is your sleep schedule? I'm like, what does that even have to do with it?
I don't know. That I have no idea.
Yeah, it's because we're guys. We're assholes.
Yeah. If you're, I don't know, if you're not sleeping well, you're just going to be a little more emotionally raw than you would be normally, I suppose. Right? Again, not something you need an app to tell you.
Now she told me last night. I guess this probably brought it up. She was dreaming about some comedian, and she told me about it. And he's a comedian that takes his shirt off. And I was like, "What's up with that?" She's like, "I don't know, just dreaming about somebody else." And I was like, "Well, what kind of dream was this?" She's like, "None of your business. That kind of dream." I was like, "It's because of the flow thing, isn't it?"
What exactly? Is this retaliation for the flow thing?
Yeah.
You're having sex dreams about Burt Kreischer? Thanks.
Yeah. Well, he lives down the street, so we drove by him the other day, and he's a great guy, a very, very funny comedian. And she was like, "Oh, pull over." I was like, "Fuck no." If your wife tells you to pull over for a celebrity, don't do it.
No. We are, I think, in our house, we are divorced of the fascination with celebrity.
Well, so are we. I mean,
Yeah.
both of I don't know that anybody knows this, but our wives are executives at major studios. So they meet everybody and they call our houses and all those kind of things. But it's interesting, the niche where it's somebody that you wouldn't normally come in contact with, that you
Mhm.
spend time watching or something like that. And you're like, "Hey, I saw Ray Liotta at Gelson's." You're like, "Hey, I interviewed him last week."
Yeah.
But it is different
Seeing them in the wild.
if we're in
Yeah.
contact with them professionally, or if you were to just see them out.
Yes.
I don't know why it is, but it is.
There was one of the first, I think it was it an Emmy or Golden Globe reaction day? I can't remember which it was, but probably around 2005 or 2006, maybe 2005. And I had gone to Sandra Oh had gotten nominated for something. And at E, we would bring a bottle of champagne as we would go and do these sort of like congratulatory interviews with them.
There's funny stories about that.
Huh?
There's funny stories about that. Go ahead.
Yeah. And so we did that one morning with Sandra Oh. And then that very night, I saw her at Gelson's. I was in line behind her at Gelson's.
Oh, yeah.
And she turns to me and she's like, nothing. She doesn't say anything. She looks at me and I'm like, "Hey, I interviewed you this morning when you get nominated for an Emmy." She was like, "Oh." I was like, "Yeah, I bought you a bottle of champagne." She was like, "Oh, yes, thank you."
Didn't care at all.
Didn't care at all. Didn't give a shit. Didn't give a single. She was very pleasant about it, but like, what was 25-year-old Will thinking? We're gonna go be best friends and go drink that champagne together? No, of course not, right?
Well, it's
But
funny.
it was like literally within this course of 10 hours,
half the
I
time.
saw her professionally and in the wild.
Right. Yeah, that's very cool. Those moments are crazy. Which is also crazy and uncomfortable is the moments where you give them the bottle of champagne and they say they're in recovery.
I also had one of those. Well, I didn't
Sorry.
actually make it happen because we were going to Jeffrey Tambor had been nominated for Transparent, and
Sure.
we show up to set with a bottle of champagne, and somebody else catches us and they're like, "You're not going to give that to Jeffrey, are you?" I was like, "Yeah, we were planning on it." They were like, "He is in recovery and very serious about it." I was like, "Okay, this is going back in the van then."
Yeah,
And so everybody came with stuff and I came empty handed.
We never got it.
But then there was also these several years where we caught on to that. So we started giving out edible arrangements,
I
which
was about to say that.
no one wants.
No.
No one wants.
We gave one to Gina Davis, and before we left the room, we heard her say, what the fuck am I going to do with this? It's open fresh fruit that just came from a stranger from a studio.
Yeah.
What am I
Who
gonna do?
knows how long it's been out? I mean, no disrespect to edible arrangements, but
Not
I
at
don't
all.
know. I don't know one person
If
who's
it
ever
shows
gotten an
up in
edible
ice-
arrangement and been like, oh, great. Everybody's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
I got a banana on a stick, and nobody eats the green melon.
And how long has it been out for?
You're our fourth trip.
It's just a bouquet of E. coli. Sorry, edible arrangements. And
I
no, and
sneeze.
everybody knows that, and nobody wants it. So
No.
yeah. And then the last
so-
one of those that I did was with Florence Pugh, with you. She got nominated for an Oscar. And you go with like this lukewarm bottle. They hand us a bottle of champagne, and it used to be Moet or something that was
This
like
is
good.
more recent.
And this is the more recent one. It was kind of like, I don't know what the hell this bottle of champagne is. I've never seen it before. And literally on camera, I was like, here's this bottle of champagne. I didn't personally buy it, so I can't speak to the quality of it, but here it is.
Thus, where we sit, and
Yes.
this is something to do.
That might have something to do with
Once you see the champagne quality go down,
exactly. You just know. It's not even a chill. It's not a chilled bottle of Dom or
it was always Dom.
I know, yeah. And now and then it went to like I don't even know what the fuck.
Oh yeah, we shot that in that movie theater.
Yes, yeah, at the London.
She was very gracious about it, though.
She was very cool.
Yeah. She was
was
also
very cool.
underage, which was weird.
No,
Nah, I'm just kidding. We gave a bottle of champagne to a 15-year-old.
here you go. Congratulations. And here's a bendy straw.
Totally joking. Well, this was something to do.
Most of that was absolute garbage.
I don't think so. I think the fact that we address that this is,
Last time,
I have to write more notes.
I'm still figuring this out, man. I got to be honest. There's,
too.
without like what I am used to is like a topic, having a point of view on a topic. When it comes to like,
yeah.
and that's, when it comes to like, what's happening in your world, it's like, I don't
shit.
fucking know.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about stuff during the week, but then my brain just starts to drift into other things. And that's a skill set, like not letting it
Notes.
drift into other shit.
We don't have writers. We have a producer and a graphic person. We need writers.
We need an entire staff of people. But now you know why people don't do shit like this because you can't hire a staff of people. You gotta
No, it is.
come up with it.
Listen, it's fun. I I think about it and
giving me a panic attack talking about my fucking old apartment and rats. That's what we spent like a third of this thing on.
Oh, you can't make me laugh that hard.
Oh my God. That's
No. But yeah, each one of these I walk into and I'm like, I don't know.
well,
We'll
no.
see. And the expectations are nothing, but we'll put it up and
And people will be like, what the fuck are you talking about any of this stuff for? Nobody gives a shit about any of this.
that, or they're gonna say,
Oh,
and just being devil's advocate.
I
be
also
like,
lived in a
I
house with rats
really-
and bees.
No, that or I really enjoy just listening to these two talk because they're soothing and they have a good rapport and they keep doing it. So fuck it.
Well, they're not stopping. So that's something.
They're lit. My lighting sucks today. I worked on this for like 2 hours.
No, you look good. You look good.
Shut up.
You look good. The coloring of mine is
It
weird
keep-
depending
it
on
keeps
where
changing. Yeah.
yeah.
So this is I don't know. I have to totally retool this whole thing for me. So I may or may not be in my office next week. Not that anybody gives a fuck.
No, not that anybody's made it this far. And if you have, thank you.
Thank you. Like and subscribe.
We
could really use it.
appreciate the pity listen. Because at this point, that's all it could be.
Where you get my biggest laughs.
All
All right,
right, man. Later.